Now, this story has a really, really, really sad ending, and I'm going to share it with you today. It is called the Preston House, but also the Lucy Crockett House or the Preston Crockett House. It has a lot of names, and it's located in 7 Mile Ford, Virginia. Well, technically just right off the exit of the 7 Mile Ford. Yeah. This house was built in 1842 by John Montgomery Preston on land that his wife Maria had inherited from her father. Now, who was related to this family? Oh, Sarah Buchanan from the Martha Washington Inn. That's not all. Patrick Henry. There were multiple generals from the Revolutionary War associated with this family and this property, on top of Madam Russell, whose husband was the war hero from the Battle of Kings Mountain. So it all ties in together. Now, before that house was ever built there was a log cabin type tavern and inn that sat on this property. And it has some pretty gruesome details to its past. There was a trail that went right by the tavern and inn, and it was kind of a rough, ragged trail where people from other states would come through, such as Tennessee and Kentucky and North Carolina and Georgia and so on. They would bring their livestock up this trail to some of the main markets that were on that side of the state. So they take all these critters up there, cows, pigs, horses, mules, etc., and they'd sell them out to market, come back down the trail, and as they're getting back down the trail with a little jangle in their pocket, they're like, oh, I'm tired, let's stay somewhere fancy tonight. We're going to stay at the tavern. And they would spend the night. But weary travelers did not know that this tavern didn't have a good reputation. It had a reputation of people just disappearing, going missing, never to return. And this was because, supposedly, allegedly, the innkeeper was a very greedy person. And he was unaliving people that came through there. And is that allegedly that people lost their lives? Absolutely not. There is proof. 1892, somebody near this property stumbled across a small cave. And they climbed on in that cave. And you know what they discovered? Oh, just 21 human skeletons. So they called the doctor in to examine these skeletal remains. And they found out that there was mostly white men in there, if not all but 2. They found a woman and a child, and the child happened to be in her arms. And old doctor said, well, we all know what happened to them. They're about the time and the age range of the people that would have been staying at that tavern. As if the history could not get any more wild for this place. It surely did. In 1864, Stoneman's raiders came through and they just took over the house and the property like it was their own and didn't even treat it like it was their own. They treated it like it was somebody that wasn't worth nothings, and they were horrible. These jokers brought their horses into the house, and they kept their horses on the lower floor in the halls and in the rooms outside of the halls, just stalled them there. And then they stole all the valuables that they could from the house. They also used their big mahogany tables as cutting boards for giant slabs of pieces of cows. They burnt all the furniture up, and they destroyed the house as much as possible before they left. But did they leave unhindered? No. I will absolutely tell you about what happened to one of the Union soldiers in just a minute. After it survived all of that, it was eventually purchased by Lucy Crockett, who was a fantastic artist in the state of Virginia. She even had people coming down from New York interviewing her on multiple occasions. I mean, in the big magazines. And her house was so beautiful at the time. Now, in 2002, the house did not belong to Lucy anymore. I don't know who bought it after that, but it soon started falling into disrepair, and it is now an abandoned house. There are several ghosts that haunt this property, and one of them is the Union soldier. Well, one of the Union soldiers had went down into the basement to try to get him some spirits, but he didn't know he was going to become a spirit himself when a man was hiding in the basement, and he yielded up, big old, and he just took off the Union man's his head. So now this Union soldier haunts this building, just angry looking, unshaven, just raggedy, still wearing his uniform, holding his head under his arm and looking for his jug of spirits. And he has been seen all over this house. There are also spirits from the people that lost their lives in the tavern. And these people are all over the place. In the cave, in the woods, on the property. They're seen a lot. They're supposed to be seen as full body apparitions. And yeah, there was 21 people that were found in the cave, but that wasn't including what could have possibly be buried near where the tavern was, because people that were in the woods at night, they said there's travelers that came by that saw the innkeeper digging graves in the night. Voices are heard and ghost lights are also seen in the woods along this property. When Lucy Crockett was living there, she said that there were two spirits that haunted the upstairs, and they were noisy. No one ever saw them, but they could always hear them. They would be sawing something, and then after that one got done, then the other one started ripping up fabric. And they were super, super, super loud. And like I said, they were never seen. Now, this is where the story takes a turn for the absolute worst and ticks me off to no end. Did y'all know that in March of 2022, that the Smith County representatives, the supervisors, decided that it was a great idea to demolish this historic landmark to put in another freaking truck stop on Interstate 81. There are like so many along this way. And I don't understand this. So, including all the history that is with this house, including the American history we've got going on there, they are going to just tear it down. And I hope that place is haunted till hell wouldn't touch it. Shamey. Sorry, I'm still mad about it. But if you like this story, and now you know the history of a house that you pass by all the time on the interstate, there you have it. Don't forget to like it, comment if you want to, share it, save it, whatever. And don't forget to follow me for more paranormal stories.